Uh, I'll start if I can. Hey, Kevin, Steve Wiseman here. Hope you're doing well.
Thanks, Steve.
Tell me, what you've learned about your team over the first 5 games here as you get ready for, this battle with Purdue, and you have 4 games coming up here against, Power Four competition.
Yeah, I think that, the biggest thing, Steve, is that we've grown in a lot of areas. I think we've become a little bit more connected. Obviously, in the world of transfers, those first 4 or 5 games will just tell a little story. But I think we've gotten better defensively. I think we move the ball better. I think we're growing as a team. And that's the biggest thing. I think every team will say that they're a work in progress, and we still have a long ways to go, but I have seen some improvement where guys are starting to play together. I would say our biggest thing is we're sharing the ball, and then we're connected a little bit more defensively than probably a little bit early on, but we got so far to go.
JC, go ahead.
As you watched Purdue this year, what things have you noticed that is different compared to the team last year, other than Zach Edey being gone?
Well, I think you hit it on the head. They're the same team with the same culture, but they don't have Zach Edey. And he was such a, just like DJ Burns was for us, such a unique player. But they're good. I mean, they're still throwing the ball inside. They really, at all times they're going to have 4 guys on the floor who can really shoot the three. They move the ball. They run so much offense. Such a really good basketball team. And even without Zach Edey. I think they even, they're dangerous because of their ability. They get out in transition, they move the ball, they can score, and obviously being able to throw the ball inside and still score gives them a tremendous advantage. You would have thought that there could be a drop off without him, but Matt's done a good job building a culture, and it seems like this team's really good.
Gibson, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, Todd Gibson, CBS 17. Will you guys be able to celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow? And if so, how will that take place for you guys?
Yeah, on these destinations, we always get together no matter what time as a team. So obviously we're going to play early out here on the West Coast. So I would imagine around 6 or 6:30, 7 o'clock, we'll still get together and celebrate Thanksgiving. It's still important to us. I know we're playing, but we want to, our team to enjoy a family atmosphere as much as possible.
And Kevin, while I got you, have you guys kind of adapted to the time change as well? And how's that going for you guys?
No, I don't know if adaption or not. Our plane was delayed so long last night. We didn't even leave Raleigh until sometime after midnight. And so the adaption part is tough. We were scheduled to leave, around 7 o'clock, and for whatever reason, obviously plane issues, we didn't take off till about 12:30. So you can ask me a little bit more when we go to practice this morning because I have no idea. We're probably going to be zombies. Hopefully we can get adjusted before we play tomorrow, but today I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, Kevin, what do you think the biggest thing you'll learn from your team playing the competition that you'll be playing out there? Do you have any idea
Well,
what?
well, it's hard to tell what you're going to learn until after the game's over. I just, these things are, as coaches, you want to try to put together a very competitive non-conference schedule that will challenge you when you get into into ACC play. But I don't know what I'm going to learn. As you go along, it's so early in our season, we'll figure it out as we go along, but we have no idea what we're going to learn. I know we're doing some good things and some things that we got to improve on. But at the end of the day, just I couldn't tell you what we're gonna learn. You can ask me after the game, and I'll be able to tell you a little bit more probably.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin, it looks like you guys have been pretty good at defending the 3-point line so far this year. What do you think about that aspect of your defense, and is that something that's kind of translatable here as you play against, higher level competition?
Yeah, we have, and it's crazy because when you play mid-major teams, they really typically have more three-point shooters than the high major teams. Not particularly the case at Purdue situation because at all times they're going to have four guys that can really shoot the basketball. But we have been good in that area, and we focused on that. And the reason why we focused on it early is because the teams that we were playing really, really were good three-point shooting teams. And so I think we've gotten better in that area.
JC?
You have some players that are returned from last year who obviously have their motivation against Purdue. What has it been like to kind of hear some of the stories from some of your newcomers who maybe watched the game on television or were getting recruited by you during that time while the portal was going on?
JC, the unfortunate thing about it is new guys probably never even watched the Final Four game. They probably were, uh, at that time when we were playing, they probably were getting calls from some college trying to get them to come there. Um, we haven't talked about it with the other guys. We made a reference to the returners that obviously some of the film work that we watch or edits is we're able to show them in those edits in the games. But this is completely different. I mean, you talk about last year's team. We had, two really good post players, and I have a lot of respect for the guys that we have now and the guys that Purdue have. But at the end of the day, you have two guys that you're probably not going to see in college basketball again, and DJ Burns and then Zach Edey. And so I think both teams probably a little bit faster. Both teams do a lot of different things, a lot of similarities in the culture. But as far as the game, it's a completely different game. You can pretty much throw the tape away from last year because, Purdue's not playing with Zach Edey and we're not throwing the ball into DJ Burns.
James, go ahead.
Kevin, I think you guys lead the country in fast break points. I know that's something you really stress. What do you think when you watch the games back? What do you think's playing a major role in your ability to run this year? I know you do it every year, but obviously at a great rate this year.
Yeah, I think we put an emphasis on getting the ball, off of misses and getting high releases, and our guys are running the floor. I think a lot of times when you're a fast break team, you look at your transition offense and it's all bundled up. And I think we've got great spacing. I think back to I think it was William Murray when Michael, he was able to outlet the pass and hit to Brandon, and Brandon's to the corner to JT for a three. I think because we're scoring the ball in transition because we got great spacing and we're making an effort. In the past years, we've been a really good transition team, but our spacing hasn't always been great, and we spend a lot of time with that.
And I just have one quick follow-up on Dontrez Styles. I know he's been playing a big role for you this year. Three-point volume isn't really up. Is that something that you'd like to see kind of tick up a little bit, just his number of threes?
No, I just think he's doing a good job. James are playing to his strengths, and the one thing I really like about Dontrez is that he doesn't force the issue. If it's a mid-range shot, he'll take it. He got loose late in the William and Murray and took those two threes. But I'm comfortable where he's at. I think he's shooting, around 37, 38% right now. Not on a lot of shots, but he's very efficient in what he's doing.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin, in the build up to these games in San Diego, have you gotten the sense that your kids are excited about the step up in competition?
I think they're just excited for the next game, Rob. Kids today are different. Like I know we make so much on, they step up in competition. I think our guys know it that it's our sixth game, and they're excited about playing another opponent. They don't kind of look at it the way we do. We said, hey, these guys lock in, and what I try to do with them is prepare for the next team. And yes, it's a very good Purdue team, and it's a great step up from some of the teams that we played. But I think our guys just looking at it that here's another opportunity, and we get a chance to play a game.
Thank you, sir.
Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I mean, you guys are undefeated and yet not ranked in the top 25. I know you don't focus on that, but are you guys still fighting for that respect? And even though you went to the Final Four last year?
Todd, if you think about it, we don't get ranked. We haven't been ranked. But the fortunate thing about it is, at the end of the year, we were number 10 in the country. and really probably should have been a little bit higher than that when you go to the Final Four. I mean, if I ever define this program about how we being ranked, when we would be really low. We just concentrate. I have a lot of respect for folks who rank, and I have a lot of respect for every team that's in the top 25. But that's not our motivation here. Our motivation is to try to have a great year, try to repeat as a ACC champion, and make another run. And if if meaning not being ranked is a good thing for us, then we'll take it.
James, go ahead.
Kevin, I know you've said before these games and non-conference play are so big for your long-term resume. Do you feel like with them being in November, they're maybe too big in a sense because they kind of are overvalued relative to your conference?
Well, James, is tough because, I think if you look around college basketball, everyone has stepped up their November schedule. And it's a reason for that because when it comes to Selection Sunday, I can't, unfortunately, it's so much weight on November and December opposed to the 20 games that we play in, late December, January, and February, March. And so for us, we had to figure it out. We got to figure it out, and not just us, our league. Our league, we have in the last couple of years, we're one of three teams that's been to the tournament, and it's only been five total. And so I think you have to be able to put yourself in situations where you're playing some of the better teams from the other league in order to have to even be considered late in March, and that's a tough pill to swallow because of the fact that you're going to play 20 great games and 10 of them on the road in great venues in the ACC.
JC?
Going even back to your first year when you played Arizona, you played Kansas, you played Purdue, Oklahoma State, some very good teams early in the season. What do you kind of take away when you look back on, those type of big matchups that happen in the non-conference? What do you kind of take away from big moments like that?
I think they're great games. Just the games that you have mentioned. JC have been in great MTEs, and we're in a great MTE this year. These guys have put together an incredible feel, and I think hats off to them to be able to play some of these games. But you want to when you're playing in a multi-team event. You want to play against some of the better teams in the other conferences, and hats off this field that's been put together, and they've done a tremendous job with that part of it. The biggest thing is you get a chance to go back to Todd asked a question earlier. You don't know going in, you find out a lot coming out, and where you need to be and how you need to grow. The unfortunate thing is you don't have much time between the first game and the second game. And so you had to look at it as a total of two games. What do you learn? How do you get better from those?
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, coach, just wanted to ask you about how important it would be to hopefully be able to have Michael O'Connell available for a complete game sooner rather than later.
Well, shit, I want Michael O'Connor to be available for a complete season, buddy. He's really good. He's solid. He gets us going. Love everything about him. Great personality kid. When you think about a student athlete, you talk about Michael O'Connor, great student, really sharp player, knows how to play, doesn't care about anything other than, making his teammates better. And yeah, I want him, obviously, I know you've referenced in the Purdue game last year, and unfortunate for us, but we hope that he can stay healthy the entire year because we'll need him.
All right, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up. Coach, I know that you came in late last night and it was dark, but as the host city, would just kind of like to get a little reaction from you for the city of San Diego.
Yeah, look, I was fortunate enough last year to come out here to San Diego, and it's a beautiful place. And when we had the opportunity to play in this tournament, I said we'll go back. My players have not seen anything but getting into the hotel lobby and getting into the room. And so we'll get a chance to take in a little bit of San Diego today. But unbelievable, great city. And I love my time here and look forward to my players having a chance to experience that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.